Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, I just wanted to comment a few things about the law. Because I can do this almost every day. I want to first talk about a lawyer named David Camp. I'll never forget this. During the Durrani litigation, somebody told me that we need to get David Camp in on our team. Well, it turns out, and I found out, that David Camp malpracticed his 4 Durrani. He only had 4 cases. He malpracticed his 4 Durrani cases. You know why? He never sued the hospitals. He never sued the hospitals. And then I found out that he was Joe Deters' divorce lawyer. And I'm sitting there thinking, wow. Then Joe Deters informs me, oh yeah, David Camp has made a living on getting referrals from the big law firms when they've got a conflict. They send him to David Camp. David Camp, high-powered Cincinnati lawyer, scoundrel, malpracticed his 4 cases. We didn't. And we were told that we ought to get him on our team. And Joe Deters' double agent, because he's buddies at Dinsmore Shoal, this is the type of thing. I like telling you these stories to show you what the scoundrels the legal profession is. Now, I want to hit St. Elizabeth. This really isn't law, but I want to bring it up. This is how bad St. Elizabeth's ER has been for my family over the years. First, my arm, where I almost lost my life in November of 2013. Unbelievable. I went there in the morning, and they told me my arm was just frozen. I need to loosen it up and whatever. Thank God I got an MRI at my insistence later in the day, and I had to go immediately to the OR. 6 surgeries, and 10 days later, they saved my arm. Number 2, my wife went there, had an ultrasound, had some real bad stomach problems. Then later she goes to, they said everything's fine. Later goes to the chiropractor. Chiropractor does an x-ray, and they say, you got a gallstone. They go, what? I just had an ultrasound at St. E's. They totally missed a gallstone. Next one, my son Parker. My son Parker, after playing football, I think it was his junior year, he falls on that AstroTurf in a pickup game, and his shoulder's hurting him real bad. He goes to St. E's. They say, oh, it's just locked up. It's just locked up. Well, the Monday, he goes to see a UC Health orthopedic. They say, your shoulder's separated. Last but not least, my brother Jed. My brother Jed was diagnosed with cancer of the kidney. So what do? They schedule a surgery in 8 days because somebody's on vacation and they have to get the team together. They have to get the team together. So they have surgery. Well, Jed doesn't do any good recovering, and an infectious disease doctor comes in and says, I think they nicked the bowel. I smell something. I think they nicked the bowel. The entire time, my brother Jed did not get the cancer treatment he was planning on getting up at the James Center in Columbus because he never did heal up from the surgery removing the bowel. Now, I'm going to dog Troy Schumann, my former primary care physician. I asked Troy, I said, Troy, what's up with this nicking the bowel and not repairing it? Surgeons swore they didn't. He goes, oh, he didn't, blah, blah, blah. Jed dies. I then go talk to Troy. I said, Troy, this still bothers me that they never went back in, fixed the bowel so my brother could get his damn treatment. You know what Troy says? Eric, they probably did nick the bowel, but it didn't make any difference. St. Elizabeth Medical Center. You have to be some kind of fool, in my opinion, to go to St. Elizabeth Medical Center if you can drive across the river. I'm just saying. Okay, lawyers who have never been suspended. I'm putting their pictures up, and I love to just him. Linda Talley Smith, as the prosecutor, is boinking the cop and the detective in the David Dooley case and doing much worse things, hiding evidence, concealing information and evidence. Never been suspended by the KBA. Keith Johnson raped a passed out drunk woman, I think it was a New Year's Eve party, pled guilty to it, lesser charge, dark of the night, so to speak. It was unbelievable how they orchestrated his plea. Never went to jail, never been suspended. Last but not least, Robert Poole. Robert Poole has been charged with human trafficking. I think his case is still going on in Boone County, And somebody told me the other day that he's still practicing law, never suspended. This has been going on, I think, for a couple years now. I have never done anything close to those three things. Do you see how the system works? See how the system works? Who do they want to remove? Too bad it didn't work. Then we have law firms. It dawned on me how big law firms are the scourge of the earth. Devil's advocate. That's why Al Pacino explained the devil got in the law because they're into everything. Think about how these large law firms have advised these healthcare systems and all these employers to generate legal work for them. Forms, HR, medical exemptions, religious exemptions, on and on and on. Think about bank loans, the stack of things you have to sign relative to bank loans. It used to be a deed, a mortgage, a closing statement. Who does that? The large law firms. They help create the laws, then they make money billing for people to comply with those laws, on and on. Everything. It's unbelievable. Two more that I want to point out. Matt Hammer. I was telling this story last night, the two guys that I had Walt's steak with, and they couldn't believe it. Matt Hammer, who used to work for Deters Law, lied under oath in an affidavit. That I forged his name on an affidavit of disqualification of Maureen O'Connor, the Chief Justice. We proved he lied. In writing, we proved he signed the damn thing. I didn't sign his name. That was the number one thing the KBA used against me in my reinstatement. I sued Matt Hammer for defamation. By the way, he's still never been suspended. He's never been prosecuted for perjury. And I sue him. Well, the case got dismissed because they said, well, he has immunity. And I'm like, do you mean to tell me that a lawyer can lie under oath against another lawyer and they have immunity in the bar process? So I'm going to tell you right now, folks, you can go out and lie under oath to anybody in the bar process, any lawyer you hate, you got immunity. They can't sue you. As long as you file as part of the bar process, you're good to go. Do you believe that? By the way, the magistrate that heard this, the judge denied it, actually wanted me to be sanctioned for suing him. So think about that. And by the way, you know how I wanted to settle the case before I sued him? I said, just apologize and retract your statement. He never did. So, Matt Hammer doesn't retract the statement, doesn't apologize. I proved that he lied under oath. He's never prosecuted. No bar disciplinary action against him. And that's used, my threat to sue him is used against me to not be reinstated. That's all truth. But think about that. Last but not least, Mike Foley. Mike Foley is a lawyer at Rendigs Fry, representing Good Samaritan Hospital in the Durrani litigation. You can't make this up. There was recently a Court of Appeals decision that ruled part in our favor and part in the other side's favor. The other side filed motions to reconsider. We filed motions to reconsider in the First District Court of Appeals. Mike Foley, despite Durrani's lawyer filing a motion to reconsider, Mike Foley filed a motion for sanctions against our team for asking the court to reconsider. In summary, it's okay for the Durrani folks to ask for a reconsideration, but not us. Folks, this is what these big law firms do all day long. And they get away with it. This is the Bulldog. Hope you're enjoying these law. Send me more. You got something? Send it to me. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.